This is 1480 KRAE Cheyenne. What you are about to hear is a sports talk radio show unlike any other that has ever before been broadcast in the capital city of Cheyenne, Wyoming, USA. This is Cheyenne, Wyoming's Sports Talk Authority. The Wyoming Cowboys, the Denver Broncos, the Colorado Rockies, and the Denver Nuggets. The show is local, it's regional, and yes, the show is national as well. Wyoming Sports Talk Today is on the air. If they're talking sports on the radio in Cheyenne, this is the place it happens. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
And a good Tuesday afternoon. Welcome to Wyoming Sports Talk Today. Back in studio once again, Larry Perawati along with Nick Perawati. And the program is being brought to you by Taco John's of Cheyenne. All I need to say is Taco Tuesday. I say no more. Taco Tuesday at Taco John's of Cheyenne. Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service over on Highway 30, your exclusive home for Jayco. RVs, fifth wheels, travel trailers, and again, some 18s on the lot. Need to go bye-bye, so you're going to save some big bucks there. And the 19s are on the lot with some great financing packages as well. Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service. Chick-fil-A at the corner of Windmill and Del Range, served up 3 squares. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, Monday through Saturday, 2 convenient drive-thrus. They are directly across Menards. And again, if you haven't had the Chick-fil-A experience, you definitely want to head over to Ray and Cindy's place, corner Windmill and Del Range. Key of Cheyenne over on Nation Way. Some select 18s still on the lot. 19s are arriving, including, you may want to even put in your request for that Kia Telluride, the new SUV from Kia. It is a good-looking vehicle. See my good friend AJ and the crew today over at Key of Cheyenne on Nation Way. Platte Valley Bank with a couple of banking locations for you. Again, high-tech banking, old-fashioned banking. Rick and the gang offer that to you each Monday through Friday over on Vanda High and at the corner of College and Pershing, Platte Valley Bank. Medicap Pharmacy. For all your pharmaceutical needs, again, with your doctor's prescription, let Gene and his staff fill those prescriptions, explain those medications to you. They have a convenient drive-thru. You can come inside. They also have some sundry supplies that you can pick up as well over at Medicap Pharmacy, Bluegrass Circle next door to Texas Roadhouse. Lennox Auto Body, the main auto and truck repair center on Dunn Avenue with a plethora of bays to get the work done. And again, bring your insurance estimate by, and Heather and their staff will take care of all of the rest. And again, they also have the Auto Glass and Detail Center, which can be found over on Pershing Boulevard. First True Bank at 1508 Stillwater Avenue, where Tim and his staff invite you to come on by. They got some great CD rates going on right now with annual percentage yields, so do check out the rate that is being offered today at First Tier Bank, 1508 Stillwater Avenue. Across the street, if you like Paisan cuisine, like I do, just because my name ends in a vowel, but I'm telling you, the best Paisan cuisine in town always can be found at Mondello's Pizzeria. And again, Joe makes everything fresh, bakes it, and it is absolutely sensational. Matter of fact, from the breads to the dough that he rolls out for the pies, the calzones, again, all cheeses and meats, always fresh. It is a delicious experience eating over at Mondello's 7 days a week. 1507 Stillwater Avenue, Suite D in the Greenway Commons. Mars Plumbing and Heating, 1515 Logan Avenue. Again, anytime there's a problem, heating, cooling, or even an overflow in the toilets, get a hold of Mars. They are there 24/7 for you. And to get things underway, we do our scoreboard. It's brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne. Here's Nick.
NHL action for tonight. Washington Capitals at home. They will take on the Carolina Hurricanes, and also to Will Mitchell, at least as we are getting close to the playoffs right now for the NHL. The Washington Capitals will clinch a playoff berth tonight if they are able to win against Carolina, and also too they need Montreal and Columbus to lose in regulation. Speaking of which, Columbus Blue Jackets at home. They will take on the New York Islanders. Florida Panthers, they will be in Montreal to see the Canadiens. Buffalo Sabres will travel to Ottawa to see the Senators. Edmonton Oilers will host the LA Kings. Anaheim Ducks will travel to Vancouver to see the Canucks. And last but not least, in Phoenix, Arizona, the Arizona Coyotes will take on the Chicago Blackhawks. I do want to mention as well 2 other clinching scenarios for the NHL. The St. Louis Blues, who are idle right now, will clinch a playoff berth tonight if Arizona does lose tonight in any fashion to the Chicago Blackhawks. And the Vegas Golden Knights, who are idle as well, will clinch a playoff berth if Arizona loses in any fashion as well. That's what's happening in NHL action for tonight.
And we move on now to the NBA scoreboard. Here's what's happening on the hardwood tonight. Spurs will visit the Hornets in the Spectrum Center in Charlotte. Never seems like Charlotte's ever on the road. They're always at home. Celtics and the Cavaliers at the Quicken Loans Arena. Magic and the Heat in the American Airlines Arena. Bulls and the Raptors at the Scotiabank Arena in Toronto. It will be the Rockets and the Bucks in the Fiserv Forum in Milwaukee. Clippers and the T-Wolves at the Target Center in the Smoothie King Center in New Orleans. The Pelicans will host the Atlanta Hawks. Kings and the Mavericks tonight. Sacramento and Dallas in the American Airlines Center. Pistons and the Nuggets at the Pepsi Can. And again, with the win tonight by the Nuggets, they will tie the Warriors for the number 1 seed in the West. So all that activity in the can at the Pepsi Center as they host the Pistons, Wizards, and the Lakers tonight at Staples, the late night contest. Our scoreboard brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
Hi, I'm Alex White, tea master at Pure Leaf. When I make tea, everything I know goes into it. You can't be impatient. When I craft Pure Leaf iced tea, I don't take shortcuts, because I want you to have the same amazing taste of iced tea that I do. So I start with fresh picked tea leaves. Then, after they're delicately dried, I blend and brew them at a lower temperature to draw out their unique aromas. And then I taste and fine-tune the blend for a delicious smooth iced tea. I'd love to have you take a sip right now, but that's one thing we can't do over the radio. But you can experience the same delicious taste of Pure Leaf iced tea anywhere you are. I'm Alex White, Pure Leaf Tea Master. Pure Leaf, our thing is tea.
Fat, lazy, and stupid is no way to conduct a sports talk radio show. We've thrown down the gauntlet, upped the stakes, and made it clear that when it comes to sports talk radio in Cheyenne, there's a new player in town. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's only here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Wyoming Sports Talk today for a Tuesday. On the program, next hour, we will have a chance to talk to by a phone. We'll talk to Adam Galicia, the Cheyenne Extreme manager, as he will be joining us. I do believe you said
he's in Utah with the work
with his job.
Yeah, with work-related stuff. So, again, we will talk to him via phone. Again, Cheyenne Extreme have been underway, at least so far, to start out the season again 5-1 with a tournament, at least championship win down in Arvada, Colorado this past weekend. So, again, we'll discuss some Cheyenne Extreme softball as, again, that is getting close, at least underway. In local baseball, we'll get started here in April, so it is time for the spring, summer, at least events to happen here in the city of Cheyenne. So, but again, we will at least have Adam Galicia join us today. Also, too, we will go through our MLB picks since at least the regular season has already started out in Japan with the Seattle Mariners and the Oakland A's, but at least the rest of the MLB will get underway here coming up on Thursday. So we'll go through our individual, at least division champions, along with also who we think will be wild cards, who will be the American League and National League champion, and then who do we think will win it all in October. So again, we'll go through all of that here today.
I do want to mention Nick has been working here. See, I always put in plugs for you, but you are such a unappreciative klutz. But you've been working here hard all day, improving some of the graphics, I do believe, on our Periscope via Twitter and as well as our Facebook page that we...
Our Facebook page?
I mean,
I didn't realize we streamed there.
No, on YouTube. I'm sorry, YouTube.
There you go.
Well, again, I remember back in the day we did on Facebook.
It's been longer than back in the day.
I know, but anyway, so you've been working on that today and improving the graphics. So some of the things that you did that I can't see because obviously I'm looking at the back of the screen right now.
Again, if you want to tune in, again, Periscope via Twitter at Nick Wiles Sports, and then also too on the 1480 KRAE YouTube channel, where again we do ask you to please subscribe. Again, it is completely free, so again we're not charging you to watch any of our broadcasts, and that even includes high school football, basketball, and even LCCC basketball. Again, which those playlists are also too archived on the YouTube channel. But I have put up, for instance, our studio number for those who are tuning in around the world. Again, with area code, if you want to chime in on anything we have to say, or at least suggest well, we have something to talk about, go right ahead.
Or
again,
you have a subject you'd like to discuss.
and again, with my social medias, again, how to find the Facebook page as well too for Wyoming Sports Talk today, where again you can chime in over there, comment on our posts as well too. So again, just a little updated visuals over there. Again, just trying to change and just trying to keep things fresh on the at least visual side for folks out there, again, to at least keep you all more informed on how to at least reach us here on Wyoming Sports Talk today.
Hey, I do want to mention this again, and we'll throw it on from time to time, especially as it gets closer. You'll hear it even more. LCCC will be having their Golden Eagle Summer Basketball Camp. And you might want to, start making plans for this week because, parents and families, they do the vacation thing. Well, if you can keep these dates open, June 24th through the 27th, this will be at the LCCC Gymnasium, $125 for the 4-day camp for boys and girls ages 6 through 13. Jason Fick obviously will take care of the boys, and it'll be Brian Ortmeyer and his staff with the young ladies. So, again, and I would venture to say some of the players will also be in town, too, to help out on this special camp. This will be in the LCCC Gymnasium. For more info, you can get a hold of both Coach Ficka at jficka at lccc.wy.edu or Brian Ort, BORTMEIE at lccc.wy.edu.
Or instead of the long-winded way of how you went about things, how about just go to golccc.com and search under at least the toolbar there where you find summer camps. Again, click on the link there. Again, they have it posted on their at least front page as well, too. Again, just click on that for more information. Again, golccc.com.
That's why I set you up, so there was no problems there. I left that.
You go through the long-winded way.
Couple of things here. Baseball that I want to get out in the open.
Well, then get on it.
And I'm kind of bummed because, I've really threw a lot of support behind the guy. And I don't know if this is really going to hurt him. But
are we talking about
Todd Helton?
Yeah.
Todd Helton has received.
It was just announced, or at least I kind of pushed along at least social medias about an hour ago. Colorado Rockies came out with a statement, at least on their social media sides, about the recent incident. Again, alum of Todd Helton, at least, obviously Todd Helton, alum of the Colorado Rockies, a beloved player, obviously number retired for the Rockies, and a potential Hall of Famer, but did come out that in Tennessee, he went back to his state, or at least I believe in Knoxville, where he was involved, I do believe, late last night in a DUI, or at least
a one-car crash,
yeah,
and he got a misdemeanor citation, driving under the influence. Helton's lawyer, Stephen Ross Johnson, said the former Rocky star has entered a treatment program and realizes that there are parts of his behavior that need to change, and he is focused on doing just that. Now, according to the Knox County Sheriff's report, Helton's car struck a telephone pole March 18th before 6 p.m. Officers said Helton indicated that he had taken an Ambien at about 2 o'clock in the afternoon when officers saw a cup in Helton's car that had the odor of an alcoholic beverage. And again, Helton, at age 45, retired in 2013 after spending his entire 17-year playing career with the Rockies.
So definitely a stupid move by Todd Helton. Again, a careless move. Should be thankful that nothing else major happened because of his decision. But does this affect anything about him, Hall of Fame?
It shouldn't.
It probably won't. Again, in my opinion, he is not a first ballot Hall of Famer. He will eventually get into the Hall of Fame, whether it takes 2, 3, 4 years or something. But does this situation hurt it? No, I don't think so. It's
not like he was liquored up every time he played baseball. I mean, this is post-baseball.
We don't know that.
Yeah, but
no real investigation.
I know, but this is post-baseball. You know what? I think before he retired, they still had the MLB drug testing program in place. play back then.
Again, who knows what the MLB kind of tucked under the rug, but again, not assuming or at least suggesting anything with Todd Helton, but again, we've heard things of what MLB kind of does of, hey, just we'll kind of dust this aside, but
I don't believe
either
he's
way,
going to get punished for this.
I don't think so. There is a good potential, or at least maybe a slight potential that it could, but I highly doubt it. You kind of look at like with the WWE Hall of Fame, again, as you say whatever you want about that, but that is a Hall of Fame that does kind of look at at least kind of what you did for that organization, or at least for like kind of professional wrestling, but kind of looks as well of what you've done outside once you've retired and what you've done with your career. Now,
he owns car lots. I mean, the guy.
But I'm just saying. I wonder if that is kind of the same true to be held with the NFL, NHL, NBA, MLB, of where it kind of encompasses your whole life of what are you doing as well to outside of Major League Baseball. Could it affect your at least Hall of Fame potential of if you are a bad egg, like for instance of we'll put in O.J. Simpson, to kind of put that name out there of, hey, fantastic football career, he did great things, again a college football Hall of Famer, with USC, but is it something where we acknowledge what you did on the field, but outside of it. It was not pretty, and we got to retract things.
But Helton didn't murder the telephone pole.
I get that, but I'm just saying.
He wrecked it, but he didn't murder it. Johnson, his lawyer, said Helton required emergency medical care, but wasn't seriously injured. Officers said Helton voluntarily gave blood for chemical testing while at the hospital. He did not do the field sobriety test. So, he gave blood. Obviously, they found some alcohol probably in the blood, and that's why he was given the citation. But, if you're going to punish Todd Helton for a mistake, then you might want to throw out a half of the Hall of Fame.
But again, that is a big mistake, though. Again, let's be honest. DUI is not a laughable offense or anything. Again, it is a serious matter where, for average Joes, it does cost you quite a pretty penny. Again, it does alter your life when you are charged with those DUIs. Again, it is a serious offense. And again, it's very fortunate that Todd Helton, or at least, again, involved in that accident, didn't cause anything else major or anything serious. Again, you can play those what-ifs, but it is something where in that situation, it can happen. It happens more than not in that situation. So it is something very serious and something that, is the MLB going to punish him over? I highly doubt it, but it is something that, the Rockies did come out and address of saying, hey, we do not condone, we are very, saddened by Todd Helton's decisions. It, again, does not reflect them as an organization or a franchise. And, again, obviously that's the probably smart PR move by the Colorado Rockies there to do that on their social media sites. Is it something that MLB as a whole will address? Probably not. Something that does MLB need to mention something? I don't think so. Would it surprise me if they do about this? Not really. It certainly wouldn't be a bad opportunity to kind of bring it to light of saying, hey, even if you are a pro or to an average Joe a fan, this is unacceptable. And I think that would be the right thing to do if you are the Major League Baseball, if, again, you are at least the commissioner and, again, that front office of saying, hey, let's use this as a chance to say, hey.
Do you think next year when they do the voting for the Hall of Fame, you think the baseball writers go, hey, this guy's an alcoholic drunk. I want to take my vote back.
Not assuming that. Not saying anything about that about Todd Helton.
Come on.
No. How news moves in this day and age of how quickly you kind of have that short-term memory loss regarding news articles like this. Voters won't even remember.
Well, and here's the deal,
I guarantee
too.
that.
He's entering a program, so he's going to come out of that program, fingers crossed. Everything's going to be, all solved. And the thing
if he does it again, then the
thing that's going to be remembered, though, he completed the program or he's in the program and he's.
I'm just saying today, or at least the last night incident, it's going to be newsworthy for the next 48 hours. It's going to die off because something else big or something else major is going to happen in the news cycle, and that does include sports, where, again, all focus is going to go towards that, and that's going to be tucked under the rug where by voting time for those Hall of Fame voters, they're not going to remember it. Majority, I would say about well over 95% of those voters are not going to remember that this incident ever happened, because of just how quickly, again, how fast this news cycle goes, how fast we are to forget things. This is going to be a minor thing. It's major now, but come around, like, again, look into the future or a year from now, no one's going to remember. At this point in time, you're going to just say, is Todd Helton Hall of Fame? Is he going to get it in the Hall of Fame, or is he not? And this is going to be a small, if not unnoticeable, footnote.
So with Todd Helton,
again, I just love how you just
I got no more, because I'm bringing up the second part of this, not the Todd Helton part. I'm bringing up the Giants.
All right,
and Rob Manfred has booted the CEO of the Giants, Larry Baer. He's suspended him,
rightfully so,
until he's suspended until July 1st without pay.
Again, there's video evidence of what at least President Baer did.
Again, it's on TMZ, so obviously, an altercation between Baer and his wife Pam was caught on video in which she screams, "Oh my God, no," while falling to the ground as her husband attempts to take a cell phone from her. The video posted to TMZ on March 1st also showed Larry Baer holding the cell phone while walking away. Now, the San Francisco District Attorney's Office gets involved and said it would not file criminal charges against Baer. The couple, married for nearly 3 decades with 4 children, issued a joint statement March 1st saying they were deeply embarrassed. So Manfred, after meeting with the Giants CEO, ruled Baer's leave of absence, which began March 4th, is an unpaid suspension. Baer also must undergo appropriate treatment and counseling plan after being evaluated by an expert.
Great. Yeah, again, he did something wrong. MLB needed to step up, and they did. President Baer did at least kind of step down from his role from the Giants. Again, has not at least left the Giants organization, but he just kind of stepped away and let at least franchise kind of operate without him, and that was a smart decision. And again, it is a domestic dispute. It was big news that was covered, and again, with the video evidence, it was a smart thing to do. And for MLB, they acted quick enough, took care of things. It is what it is. You move on at this point in time. For the San Francisco Giants, you got to move on. You got to focus on it again. It's baseball time.
All right, speaking of baseball, we're going to take a time out, and when we come back, again, I'm not going to talk about our picks. I'm going to talk about some guys in different uniforms, get Nick's thought and maybe your thoughts as well at 514-1071. We will be back after these words right here on 1480 KRAE.
You love the Lennox difference, from collision repair to minor nicks and dents. Certified quality you can trust. Nobody cares about your car more than us. Lennox Auto Body, we do what we say. We fix it right and get you on your way. No shortcuts, no compromise. Lennox Auto Body. No shortcuts, no compromise.
Lennox Auto Body at 1020 Dunn Avenue and the Detail Center at 617 East Pershing Boulevard, Cheyenne.
At Medicap Pharmacy, we concentrate on nothing but your medications and your health. Each location is a locally owned, full-service neighborhood pharmacy. We won't make you walk through aisles and aisles of stuff or wait in a long line. Instead, we'll always make time for you by listening, answering your questions, and explaining your prescriptions.
Medicap Pharmacy, we'll always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712.
In life, you question everything. The same should be true when it comes to managing your wealth. What are your investment recommendations based on? How much are you paying in fees? And how can those fees impact your returns? Charles Schwab encourages investors to get engaged and ask tough questions. To learn more, call the Schwab Cheyenne branch at 307-459-0998 or visit schwab.com/Cheyenne. Charles Schwab and Company, Incorporated. Member SIPC.
We're starting our 14th year, and we still believe in putting you first by making it easy to own a new Kia vehicle. I'm AJ Miller for Kia of Cheyenne, and right now, we can help get you into a new 2019 Kia Sportage for less than Honda CR-V, Toyota RAV4, or Ford Escape. The 2019 Kia Sportage comes standard with power-adjustable rear-view mirrors, rear camera display, remote keyless entry, and more. Come into Kia of Cheyenne, call 775-0123, or go to kiaofcheyenne.com. We'll make it easy.
Cheyenne Urological has been the cornerstone of urinary care to Cheyenne and its surrounding communities for over 20 years, with doctors Bryant, Everett, Gieske, and their highly trained staff providing top-quality treatment for prostate cancer, urinary tract infections, kidney stones, impotence, and incontinence. Cheyenne Urological is now offering cutting-edge robotic surgery. So call Cheyenne Urological at 635-4131 for compassionate, expert urinary care. That's 635-4131.
Check out the huge savings this week at Town & Country Supermarket Liquors. Here are just a few of the terrific weekly specials. Our Super Radio Pies, heard only right here, feature Black Velvet, 1.75-liter bottle, $12.99. Black Box Wine, all available flavors, 3-liter box, $16.99. And Bacardi Rum, light, dark, or limon, 1.75-liter bottle, $18.99. Town & Country Supermarket Liquors on the South Greeley Highway, Cheyenne's low-price leader.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For tonight, it'll be sunny with highs around 62, winds out of the southwest at 10 to 15. For tonight, it'll be clear skies with lows around 35. On Wednesday, it'll be mostly sunny with highs around 67. And on Wednesday night, it'll be partly cloudy with lows around 35.
We're taking Cheyenne, Wyoming Sports Talk Radio to a whole new level. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
Don't look at me. I think these people are completely nuts.
Stop this crazy thing!
And it's only here on AM 14.
Season and, pretty much getting their act together during the spring were the New York Yankees.
Yeah? How has that ever been a question?
Well, no, but I'm just saying we would agree that they were the most active.
I mean, they were the most active last year. They've been active for about 3 years now of just picking up big names.
You think they filled in the right parts?
Again, what kind of question is that?
Well, no, because again, grabbing a DJ LeMahieu, do I think a DJ LeMahieu brings?
He adds wins, not a whole lot, but again, it is nice.
But he brings a consistent 300 batting average with him.
We'll see if that translates.
And he brings a great
a guy who played with the Colorado Rockies, who played in Coors Field, where again I'll use that argument, and again it's going to be the argument for is he going to at least move on over to the New York Yankees very well. Granted, it is a very friendly at least ballpark at Yankee Stadium, but is it something that it's going to translate over to the Yankees? Again, only time will tell. We don't know. Again, it was a solid pickup by the Yankees. Is it moving the needle for me that the Yankees, they picking him up are now World Series contenders or at least World Series favorites? Not really. But again, it was a good bat to have, a good fielder. We'll see what the Yankees do with him or how things go with the Yankees.
See, and I think Yankee Stadium is going to fit DJ LeMahieu because he is one that likes to go opposite field. So, and he does exhibit the power. So, again, here's another thing, too. He's also played alongside one Troy Tulowitzki in the past.
Troy Tulowitzki right now is a shell of himself. Again, he is not the same player as what he was when he was playing for the Colorado Rockies. Again,
but
he's been off the injury.
But the Yankees are expecting him to play, right?
I would think so. But again, of what he's bringing to the table, they only got him for 1 year. Again, a guy who's been a shell of himself since he left the Colorado Rockies. When he moved up to Toronto, he's been, I'm not going to say a bust, but he's not the same player as he was years ago. He is not that feared kind of bat. He's, at least as a fielder, decent, at least in recent, but Again, it was small money, 1 year, not a big gamble for the Yankees. They can afford it. They can do whatever they want. And again, he's going to be that hopefully utility player that can be worth more than what they paid for, or at least try to elevate that team. Again, bringing on Troy Tulowitzki to the New York Yankees doesn't move the needle. Probably minuscule, but it's something where I go, yes, you finally got him on. That's the definitive piece to say, yes, the Yankees are upending the Boston Red Sox at this point. Again, they've kind of brought in these different names that can contribute. The question is, or at least a big question for the New York Yankees is, will they pan out? Will they be a good, at least contributing factor for the New York Yankees? Again, the at least already established staff that is out there help out. One, Aaron Judge, again, all those other big namesakes. Again, Giancarlo Stanton to help them out and kind of alleviate some of that pressure that they are trying to carry this team on their shoulders. Well, again, that is right now the big question for the New York Yankees.
Well, with the Yankees, see, and again, I think you're getting a little rough on them, and even one Tulowitzki.
I'm not rough on
no,
them.
but Tulowitzki.
But again, Troy has not. Let's be honest. Again, numbers, they're not awful, but they've certainly kind of taken a downfall. But again, he's been oft injured. He's off injured. He's getting that injury bug.
He's still a good shortstop. He's worked with LeMahieu, so you've got two guys that are very familiar with each other, starting that 6-4-3 DP. So again,
if they're in the starting lineup. But again, we don't know what the Yankees are going to do right now.
I think Tulowitzki probably is going to be the everyday shortstop. I think in spring he's hitting about 242, not bad.
Not great.
Yeah, but it's not. Again, some big superstars hitting about $1 something or other.
Yeah.
So he's hitting about 240 in spring training. He's gotten through the month relatively healthy. This is probably one of the best years that he's felt good as a ball player. Again, he's going to Yankee Stadium where they play on grass, so half of their games will be on the natural surface as opposed to playing on the carpet over, the all-weather turf in Toronto where he was at. I just think the pickups by the Yankees, especially there, and again, that is your key part of your infield, your second baseman, your shortstop.
No.
And again, if they can get 100+ games out of Tulo this year, then I think they got more than their money's worth. DJ is going to give them.
Well, I think that's what the Yankees are trying to do right now. They're trying to see if we can get at least more than their money's worth for both players at this point in time. And again, if they can, again, if DJ is going to be at least a solid player, if Tulo can be back to where he was playing with the Colorado Rockies, get at least away from this injury bug, then yes, the Yankees, I think, have enough pieces where, granted, they were a threat last year, and they still are a threat this year, even if they weren't to pick up those two. But yes, it does move the needle slightly. But right now, it is the big question mark of what exactly what are they going to pan out for at least now in the new territory.
And again, like I said, I think if I'm in the management role or the ownership role of the Yankees, I'm feeling pretty good about putting this team on the field, for opening day.
You still got to be a little worried, though, if you are the New York Yankees, because, again, you are in the shadow of the Boston Red Sox. Red Sox who kind of stand pat, and again, they made some slight moves, but they didn't really need to make a whole lot of moves because, again, that team is still solid.
But also,
is still your defending World Series champions.
You look at LeMahieu, first time that he ever got injured last year with the hamstring. You had Judge on the shelf last year for, about 30-plus games.
Yeah.
So, again, you've got two of again, you look at this lineup. You want to talk about the Bronx Bombers. I feel pretty good with this. Again, you got Stanton.
I think what you're seeing right now in New York with the Yankees are basically the Rockies of the East. If that makes sense, at least they are the Colorado Rockies of the East, where that lineup, again, from probably including the DH is, again, with the American League, but hitting-wise, it should be an absolute just scary lineup to face if you're an opposing pitcher. The pitching, however, it's solid. It's nothing where I fear. It's nothing compared to what is out in Houston of going, wow, that's pretty good. It's nothing what, at least kind of solid pitching of what you see up in Boston with the Red Sox. It's nothing where, I kind of shiver about if I'm an opposing team. But it's the Yankees are the Colorado Rockies of the American League, if that makes sense, where they have powerful bats, good infielders. The pitching can be solid, and we'll see if they can be anything better, but they do have their question marks. But right now, the Yankees do stand in a major shadow, in a big shadow in their own division against the Boston Red Sox. The Red Sox, who didn't have to make a whole lot of moves, they did. They signed some of their returners, again, to big money. Again, they returned a lot of players as well from that championship team. And right now it is, you got to take care of your rival. Your rival is right now the biggest threat in all of MLB.
Well, you mentioned, too, Luis Severino and CC Sabathia, a couple of pitchers right now day-to-day with injuries. And, that's kind of expected sometimes out of spring training. But
you wonder what the mindset is as well, too, with CC Sabathia, or at least what he's going to try to do this season, because at least all indications are showing that, or at least I think he came out and said that it's going to be his final season. You wonder if he's going to try and, maybe overwork himself a bit to kind of put on like a special season of some sorts, try to go after 20 wins or do something special to kind of cap it off at least his career. And again, it sounds like he was going to, or at least retire after this season. So you just wonder where the mindset's going to be for CC Sabathia. Does he put a little too much pressure on his shoulders? Again, will he run into injury bug as well?
I don't think so, because I think what the Yankees did in the offseason was that they bolstered the bullpen. I mean, think about it.
Again, I'll go back to it. It is the Colorado Rockies of the American League.
And that's fine.
Rockies did the same thing, and it did not pan out.
But you got Chapman, who's your closer, and good bad.
Chapman. But he can be great. He can be bad.
You got Betances. You got Britton. You got Jonathan Holder.
Again,
Ottavino.
Britton. Ottavino questionable. Britton can be questionable at some times. Again, it's big question marks regarding at least that bullpen staff starting roles. Again, with Sabathia, yes, you still got to respect the guy, but you don't know what is going to at least come of him. Again, he is up in age, and again, he can be oft injured. And right now, again, that pitching staff, it doesn't scare me. It doesn't scare me if I'm in the American League East, or at least in the American League in general.
But if you get 5 innings out of these guys, like you said, they're like the Rockies of the East. Yeah. You get 5 innings out of these guys, and I guess it's a good day's work. I look at this team, and I'm just going out on this right now with Sanchez, and then you look at Judge and Stanton, LeMahieu. Now, again, right now, Troy Tulowitzki isn't the everyday starter. I think they're going to go with Torres. But my point is, though, I go up and down this Yankees lineup. This is going to be a team that could probably club at least 250 home runs as a team. I won't throw out that 300 number because that's a lot of round trips. That's hitting 2 every game for the Yankees.
You got 2 players that can easily carry 50. At least carry about 100 there between 2.
But I think LeMahieu making that move from Colorado, again, with that shorter porch in right field, and he is more of an opposite field hitter. A lot of his base hits at least go there, and he does bring power with him. I see a guy like LeMahieu getting 20 round trippers this year out of the second base position. But again, the Yankees, boy, they made some moves that are going to make them that much better this season. Now, will they win it all? Don't know. We're going to take a timeout. When we come back, we'll talk some more baseball. We'll talk some more players that changed uniforms during the offseason. We'll be back after these words.
We are the key to your cleaning success. The Key People that provides affordable office and professional cleaning services for over 40 years with exceptional customer care. All of our contractors have background checks and are licensed and bonded. We guarantee you a safe and secure service that is tailored to your individual and business needs. The Key People do not impose year-long contracts, and all quotes are free, confidential, and personalized. Call the Key People at 1-800-468-8283. That's 1-800-468-8283.
Cheyenne Auto Repair and Service, proven and respected when it comes to the care of your vehicle. For nearly 25 years, Cars has been there to repair and fix those minor problems to get you back on the road without major difficulties. And now, as we do more traveling at this time of year, see Cheyenne Auto Repair and Service first for your car or truck when it comes to tuning it up, an oil change, brakes, shocks, work on your air conditioning unit, and so much more. John and his crew at Cars gives your vehicle the precise detail it deserves. Respected with quality workmanship. Always bring your vehicle to Cheyenne Auto Repair and Service at 604 West Lincoln Way. Call for an appointment at 632-0498. Open Monday through Friday.
For almost 60 years, 1480 KRAE has been Cheyenne's home for good times and great oldies. Add to that live play-by-play sports featuring high school football and basketball, along with LCCC men's and women's basketball. Now combo that with KYOY-FM and you have Cheyenne and the area's only locally owned AM and FM radio stations. But we don't stop there. We also have 2 FM translators which serve the area with programming from both KRAE and KYOY. And that equals a lot of bang for your advertising dollar. Radio yesterday and now today, along with our websites, web streams, and digital ventures makes us your one-stop shop. For more information, information, please call Larry Proetti at 307-637-0301.
When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think authentic Italian. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think made fresh from scratch. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think great pizza, delicious Philly cheesesteak, superb hot and cold Italian sandwiches, meatballs, sausage, and special subs, calzones, crisp salads, and great service. When you say Mondello's Pizzeria, think unmatched Italian taste. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, your only true Italian stop for lunch or dinner.
Did you know that in rural areas of Laramie County, electricity is reliable and affordable because of High West Energy? Based in Pine Bluffs, High West Energy is an electric co-op owned by the 10,000 customers we serve, and that includes F.U. Warren Air Force Base and 20 subdivisions around Cheyenne. For more than 75 years, High West has been proud to play a part in the steady growth and economic development of this region while also contributing to local nonprofits, charities, and civic organizations.
What's the difference between buzz driving and drunk driving? The answer is none. Buzz driving is drunk driving, period. Make sure you make responsible choices that don't endanger yourself and others. Take the pledge today. I'm going to be smart. I won't drive while buzzed. One drink is one too many when you're on the roads. If you drink, have a designated driver. Don't become a statistic and don't get arrested. Simply put again, buzz driving is drunk driving. And always remember to buckle up. Paid for by Federal Highway Safety Funds.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For tonight, it'll be sunny with highs around 62, winds out of the southwest at 10 to 15. For tonight, it'll be clear skies with lows around 35. On Wednesday, it'll be mostly sunny with highs around 67, and on Wednesday night, it'll be partly cloudy with lows around 35.
You bleed brown and gold? So do we. Wyoming Cowboys football and basketball is always front and center on this show. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's here on AM 1480 KRAE.
As we're back on Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and again, those changing uniforms, I do want to mention this, that I actually thought he was pretty much toast after the end of last season. I thought he was going to pretty much call it a career, but Hunter Pence caught on with Texas. He's on the roster there, our former Giant outfielder. I guess he still thinks he's got a couple of years left in him. But you look at
again, the Rangers don't really have.
They don't have much.
They don't care.
They just don't have much.
They're not competing this season, and right now the Rangers can do whatever. Again, for Hunter Pence, it's kind of a full circle where he's back back in the stage where that's where he's from. Again, around the Dallas region. I do believe he kind of posted of where he's used to park cars for the original, at least for that Globe Life Park, at least the old one, not the new one that's coming up at least next season. But
the ballpark at Arlington?
Globe Life Park is what it's called.
I know, but back in the day it was the ballpark at Arlington.
Oh, he referred to it as Globe Life Park.
All right.
But either way, though, again, Hunter Pence finding a new home. Again, there's been multiple moves that, granted, we've talked about already.
Well, yeah, and again, just I guess the question asked you and even the audience, who makes the biggest impact? Is it Bryce Harper in Philadelphia? Is it Paul Goldschmidt at St. Louis? Is it Yasiel Puig in Cincinnati? Or is it Manny Machado in San Diego? Who's going to have the biggest impact?
I think the biggest impact is plain and simple is one Bryce Harper for the Philadelphia Phillies. I think he is that carrying piece that vaults over the Phillies. And again, once we get into our picks, hopefully, again, at least I'll kind of reiterate of my thinking where, again, the Phillies in that move, yes, he is that dangerous of bat. He is that kind of LeBron James-esque player where, yes, he can add a few wins to a team. He can change a team from dead last to, all right, this team's a serious threat right now. Yasiel Puig, the guy's
just on a bad team.
The guy's a head case, and he's on a bad team. He's not that Bryce Harper type of player. He's not that Mike Trout kind of, at least, caliber of an athlete that could change it around. I think Cincinnati, yes, will add a few wins or so, thanks to at least Yasiel Puig, but it's nothing major. It's the same with Manny Machado in San Diego with the Padres. Yes, he'll add a few wins to that team.
Do you really believe he adds wins to that team?
not a whole lot, maybe just a handful or something like that. But it's nothing that Yasiel Puig is changing the franchise around for the Cincinnati Reds of going, all right, I got to respect them in the NL Central. No, the Reds are probably going to be a terrible team once again this season. They don't stand a shot. San Diego, the Padres.
They have Hosmer, didn't they? They still have him at first base, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Hosmer and Machado.
Guess what? It didn't do a whole lot for the Padres last year, other than solidifying them in a battle for dead last there.
And they also have the other power hitter. I think they moved him out to the outfielder. So they got 3 guys that can crush the ball. But other than that,
again, Padres, they're going to be fighting with the Giants for dead last in the NL West, and possibly with the Arizona Diamondbacks. Cincinnati is not moving anywhere. They're still going to be awful. Philadelphia Phillies, picking up Bryce Harper. Yeah,
they also picked up Remulto, JT Remulto, McCutchen. So there's at least
again big names. Again, McCutchen.
Segura,
who knows
David Roberts?
Who knows what you'll get out of McCutchen right now? He's a shell of himself as well too. But again, look at what Goldschmidt in St. Louis. Yeah, I think St. Louis, they were knocking on the door last year. They still will be this year. I think they'll have enough to vault over the Chicago Cubs, as much as I want to give them respect. But is it enough to up in the Milwaukee Brewers, who I think will be the favorites in the NL Central? It's going to be a dogfight, but I don't think the Cardinals, even with Paul Goldschmidt, will have enough to take care of the Brewers.
I still think they're a third-place team in that division.
I think they have enough to get over the Cubs.
They could. I mean, and that's going to lead us right now into our NL picks. Do we got time, or do we need to take one more break?
We're out of breaks at this
point. Okay, well, let's take this up to the top of the hour. We got about 10 minutes. I think that's about all we need. So let's go to the National League first, since we've been talking about the National League.
And again, these are division winners of who we will think will win, along with also, too, again, breaking it down as what we've done for the past couple of years. Again, division winners, also, too, wild cards, the 2 of them we think will move on. And then also, too, we will at least pick our league champion, along with also, too, our finale of the World Series champion. So I'll let you have at it. We'll start in the East side. We'll go with the NL East of who do we think is going to be the division winner.
I'm going to go back, and I'm going to stay with Atlanta to repeat. I think Atlanta still is the pitching class of that division. The young guns are still pretty doggone good. And again, this is the team last year that knows how to win, and they didn't fade.
It's an Atlanta team that had to vault over Philadelphia, but had no other competition than the NL East, and I think they were just kind of handed that crown because the rest of the teams, let's be honest, the Mets are probably still going to be pathetic. At least depending on injuries. We'll see what happens with that organization. That might be a dark horse team, but I highly doubt it. Miami Marlins, they're going to be awful. The Washington Nationals, at least the Nats, people are very high on.
I think they're going to be a 500 team at best. I mean, again, I like Fulton Evans, the starter. I like Newcomb. I like that Tehran kid. He's getting better. And again, you got Freddie Freeman at first base. He's another Paul Goldschmidt. He can knock the snot out. You got Albies at second base. Josh Donaldson, who they picked up. Donaldson is still a good baseball player. And obviously they're paying him a lot of scratch to play third base. So I think he's going to be pretty decent. Acuna's in the outfield.
Yeah, the Braves are a solid pick, at least for the NL East division winner. But again, like I mentioned with Bryce Harper, I think he is that player. And again, the Phillies, let's be honest, they were knocking on that door to compete with the Atlanta Braves last year, minus Bryce Harper, and just had that kind of tailspin there in August and September where they eventually just exited on out. But I think with the addition to Bryce Harper, again, he is that player that can revolutionize a team. He can change that team around. And I think where Philadelphia had a strong young core, again, a core that is still developing a team that was knocking on the door last year to the Atlanta Braves, I think with the addition, I go with the Philadelphia Phillies to take that NL East crown.
And again, that's where you and I will disagree. I think if Atlanta stays healthy, they're consistent. You get Bryce Harper and you get a lot of home runs, but you also get a guy that hits about 240. So, he may be the be-all, cure-all for the Phillies, but you and me will disagree. I got Atlanta, you got Philadelphia. Moving on to the Central Division, Europe.
Central Division, I give massive respect to this team, as I kind of alluded to as we were, again, talking about things. But the Milwaukee Brewers, team that I thought was going to make it to the World Series last year and had a legitimate shot. Milwaukee, yeah, I think it's going to be another tough task for the Brewers coming up in the NL Central. Again, with the Chicago Cubs, with the St. Louis Cardinals improving, it's nothing where the Milwaukee Brewers can run away with the division. But I think they take care of business once again and get that Central crown. Again, solid core, returned a lot of at least talented players there. Didn't make a whole lot of moves in the offseason, but it's kind of the same vein with the Boston Red Sox. They didn't need to make a whole lot of moves.
Pitching, they're similar to the Rockies. Again, Cheyenne is their number one guy. You got Anderson and Zach Davies, but you have Josh Hader. So right there, you got your closer. You got Corey Knievel. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but
Anyways.
again, you got a very good bullpen backing your starters. Hitting team, yeah, they're a good hitting team, but I think where the Brewers are going to make their money is going to be with the bullpens. I think, and if the bullpen shows any signs of fading, which I doubt, I agree with you. I'm going with Milwaukee. I don't see the Cubs overtaking them. I don't see St. Louis being in the mix, at least for the NL Central crown.
Yeah. Anyways, as we're 5 minutes away from the top of the hour, let's rush this along. Since
let's not rush. We got time.
I'm just saying, because again, we had to discuss of something that we've already been discussing here on Wyoming Sports Talk today. But either way, though, we will move on, at least with the NL West. This one is pretty easy. This is pretty obvious. You got to respect the LA Dodgers. Dodgers, they unfortunately have to win that NL West crown once again. Rockies are going to put up another good fight to it, but I just think the Dodgers are a team that has that experience, a team that knows how to shut down that door. Clearly did it last year where it mattered. Again, the final game 163, they're in LA saying, hey, no, that crown is still ours. I think the Dodgers they'll have a fight on their hands with the Rockies, but they may win the West by maybe 2 or 3 games. Kind of keep it interesting. I still unfortunately have to give respect to the LA Dodgers.
And I'm going to disagree with you. I'm flopping it over. I'm going with the Rocks. I think this is the year they finally overtake the Dodgers. You got Freeman, Marquez, Gray, Sensatella, Anderson back. You got Wade Davis, your closer, in there. I think now with the departure out of Ottavino, you can find a Chad Bettis now, who will be that 7th, 8th inning guy. Russin should be a little bit better. And I think this is one of the better hitting teams in Major League Baseball, right up with the Yankees. I think this is going to be another one of those power hitting teams. You said Coors Field. I'm going to say this is going to be the year the Rocks actually win the NL West.
I just don't see it. Again, the Rockies find a way to shoot themselves. Again, a team that has been bolstered of being that feared hitting team finds a way to just sneak into that wild card, finds a way to lose series. Again, where this team, I go back to last year, they shouldn't be losing home series at Coors Field to San Diego. They shouldn't be losing major games to San Francisco Giants. Again, right now with the Colorado Rockies, again, pitching is a question mark. It always is a question mark with the Colorado Rockies of what is going to be. Will that starting core still kind of carry that momentum from last year? I don't know. You would like to think so. You think it's a good possibility, but it is the biggest question mark always with this franchise of what pitcher is going to show up. Will they be, again, getting at least putting up a 6.0 ERA in a game? You just don't know at this point. But I just go off of with the LA Dodgers. Yes, they did unload a lot of pieces. I think for the Dodgers, though, they unloaded probably the best pieces that they should have. Again, the 2 head cases of Machado and also 2 with Yasiel Puig. You got rid of the cancers.
And you also start the season again with your ace.
And again, that is never phase of what this Dodgers franchise has ever been about.
But Boston proved Dodger pitching to be mortal in the World Series last year.
Yeah, but Boston's a very good
So
outfit.
we go with our NL champion after it's all said and done.
No, how about you go with the wild cards?
With the wild cards.
Go.
All right, so I will go with mine real quick. Dodgers, will be the wild card out of the West.
All right.
Phillies will be the wild card out of the East. I think you and
So
me
we
just
just
kind of flip-flopped.
We flip-flopped where, yes, for my wild cards, I went with the Colorado Rockies to be another wild card team, and I go with the Atlanta Braves to kind of take out of the NL East.
And we disagree on the NL champion.
NL champion with me, again, a team that I think is going to take care of business as I thought they were last year. I think a team that still is a serious threat in all of MLB is the Milwaukee Brewers.
And
I give them respect.
I'm going to throw my hat in the ring this year for the Rockets. I think.
No.
You don't have to agree with me. I'm not.
I'm just saying you would have. You need to seriously take a look internally.
Stability with Bud Black at the skipper position. This is a solid infield and outfield. Everyday players that can make a difference this year for the Rockies. I think they can get it done this year. I think it's a climb up the ladder.
You kind of rushed those picks where I handed that page to you. I think you might want to take a step back and think about all the teams in the National League of where the Rockies, yes, they're a good team, but are they the team that's going to represent the National League in the at least World Series? I don't see
You're going to see this year on that team no disruptions. And I like that because they got Arenado done. They signed him, and he's ready to play ball. This guy's ready to have that MVP year. And I'm telling you right now, that infield with Murphy and Trevor Story, this is a good outfit. I think they can do it this year. Anyway, you and me disagree, and we'll see what happens here come October. We're going to take a timeout. We'll come back. We'll check in quickly on the American League. We also have local baseball that we're going to be talking about real quick. And then we have Adam Galicia. He's the skipper of the Cheyenne Extreme. We'll have him live around 4:30 this afternoon. We're back after this.
This is 1480 KRAE Cheyenne.
Also being heard on translator K266CC Cheyenne at 101.1 FM.
What you are about to hear is a sports talk radio show unlike any other that has ever before been broadcast in the capital city of Cheyenne, Wyoming, USA. This is Cheyenne, Wyoming's Sports Talk Authority. The Wyoming Cowboys, the Denver Broncos, the Colorado Rockies, and the Denver Nuggets. The show is local, it's regional, and yes, the show is national as well. Wyoming Sports Talk Today is on the air. If they're talking sports on the radio in Cheyenne, this is the place it happens. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
And it is hour number 2 being brought to you by Marv's Plumbing and Heating at 1515 Logan Avenue. Mondello's Pizzeria at 1507 Stillwater Avenue. Sweet D in the Greenway Commons, and delicious Paisan cuisine at your leisure 7 days a week. We also want to thank First Tier Bank at 1508 Stillwater Avenue, directly across the street, banking done the old-fashioned way. You, customer service, always first and foremost at First Tier Bank, Monday through Friday. Lennox Auto Body and the Auto Glass and Detail Center. The Auto Glass and Detail Center can be found on Pershing Boulevard. The Auto Body Shop, the Auto and Truck Body Shop, can be found on Dunn Avenue. Medicap Pharmacy, same location as always, Bluegrass Circle, next door to Texas Roadhouse. Platte Valley Bank, 2 banking locations. Eastsiders catch them at the corner of College and Pershing, and of course the original location on Vanda High. King of Cheyenne on Nation Way. The lot is filled with some 19s that you definitely want to get behind the wheel and possibly take home. There are some select 18 models there too, and again, you're going to like the pricing that you will find on each of the Kia vehicles right now at Kia of Cheyenne on Nation Way. Chick-fil-A at the corner of Windmill and Del Range, directly across from Menards. And again, 3 squares served up Monday through Saturday, including 2 convenient drive-thrus to get you in and out just as fast if you're in a hurry. They'll take good care of you always at Chick-fil-A. Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service on Highway 30. Again, your exclusive home for Jayco RVs, fifth wheels, and travel trailers. And again, find some sensational savings plans going on right now as they close out the 18 model year, and the 19s are here. And check out the great financing package that are available today. And it's Taco Tuesday. It is Taco Tuesday at all Taco John's of Cheyenne. Get excited, Cheyenne. You know when it's Taco Tuesday, you got to load up on delicious tacos only from Taco John's. And we get things underway with our scoreboard. It's brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne with Nick kicking things off.
NHL action for tonight. Washington Capitals at home at Capital One Arena. They'll take on the Carolina Hurricanes. Regarding the Washington Capitals, they can clinch a playoff berth tonight if they win against Carolina, and both Montreal and Columbus lose in regulation. Speaking of which, Columbus Blue Jackets, they'll be at home. They will take on the New York Islanders. Florida Panthers will travel to Montreal to see the Canadiens. Ottawa Sins at home. They will take on the Buffalo Sabres. LA Kings travel to Edmonton to see the Oilers. Vancouver Canucks at home. They will host the Anaheim Ducks. And last but not least, in Phoenix, Arizona Coyotes, they'll play host to the Chicago Blackhawks. Also, do want to mention two idle teams can clinch a playoff berth tonight as well with the St. Louis Blues. They can clinch a playoff berth if those Arizona Coyotes do lose in any fashion. Same with the Vegas Golden Knights, who are idle. They will clinch a playoff berth if Arizona loses in any fashion. That's what's happening in NHL action for tonight.
And we move on to the NBA scoreboard. Here's what's happening on the hardwood for tonight. Hornets at home hosting the Spurs, Celtics and the Cavaliers in the Quicken Loans Arena. Magic Heat tonight in American Airlines Arena. Heat holding down that number 8 hole right now in the East. So they are hoping to pick up another win. Again, former East standout James Johnson.
Yeah, Miami, who just, let's be honest.
They're 36 and 37. So, yeah, they're under the
sub 500. Woohoo.
But again, hey, maybe they make the playoffs. Bulls and the Raptors at the Scotiabank Arena in Toronto. Rockets and the Bucks, they will match up tonight in the Fiserv Forum. It's the Clippers and the Timberwolves in the Target Center. Hawks and the Pelicans in the Smoothie King Center in New Orleans. The Sacramento Kings and the Dallas Mavericks in American Airlines Arena. Pistons and the Nuggets tonight in the can at the Pepsi Center with the win. The Nuggets can tie the Warriors for the number 1 seed in the West. Wizards and the Lakers, they have the late night contest tonight at Staples. Our scoreboard brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
This is the Pepsi that's got a date with your taste buds. We're talking 1,000 bubbles dancing a two-step with you and 2 tacos at 2 a.m.
Order number 83. Come on, you're up.
This is the Pepsi that has mastered the art of the late-night munchies and is always down to dig into some deep dish.
Hey, we don't do deep dish, capiche?
Try telling that to Chicago. This is the Pepsi for po' boys, pulled pork sliders, and the godfather of all sandwiches, the Godfather. This is the Pepsi for street carts, anything a la carte, and is dying to make the leap into your grocery cart. Come on, take us home with you. This is the Pepsi for those who are forever fun. This is the Pepsi for every generation.
Here the season never ends. From Wyoming sports to the Broncos in Denver. From Rockies baseball to talking hoops with Nuggets basketball. Local, regional, and national. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, right here on AM 1480 KRAE.
We are back on Wyoming Sports Talk Today. Larry Proetti along with Nick Proetti as we went in the last 10 minutes of the first hour talking about our picks for Major League Baseball. And again,
picks will be
kind of flip-flop, you and me, on how we look at things. I actually think this could be the Rockies' year.
Yeah,
that's just my opinion.
We'll doubt it. Again, with these picks, we will post them, or at least I will, on 1480krae.com. Again, /YO Talk is where you can find Wyoming Sports Talk Today. Again, all at least past interviews, also to our weekly sports picks where this is going to be posted, along with also to our NCAA March Madness brackets as well, too. So, again, go to 1480krae.com /YO Talk is where you find the at least main page for Wyoming Sports Talk Today and find all this information where, again, this MLB picks for us, again, will be posted as soon as possible, as soon as tomorrow, again, online. Moving over to the American League, and as we went through the National League for picking all 3 division winners, along with also to our NL champion and, again, our wild cards as well, too. We'll keep on the East, and we'll start on the American League side with the East. Again, dominated last year by the Boston Red Sox. Again, moves made by the Yankees. I'll let you go first on who will.
And really, we're going to bore everybody because it's you and me, all 3 on the division side.
The American League is a boring, at least. It's very boring this year.
It's very predictable. You got Boston or the Yankees winning the East. we both have the Yankees.
Yeah,
we talked ad nauseum in the first hour about the Yankees.
I think this is the year that the Yankees, even minus the moves, yes, it does help out the team, but again, not majorly. But I think the Yankees have been brewing something together right now where it could be this time where at least it has a good recipe right now for the New York Yankees to kind of get back into those winning ways, get back into, that old Yankee baseball. And I think it starts this year where, yes, they will take the AL East crown from the Boston Red Sox. It will be a battle. I think it will be between New York and Boston. It might come down to a game 163 potentially, but that is going to just be a dogfight throughout the entire year between those two in the AL East.
So we see the Central Division.
This one was tough.
Not really.
It is for me. Again, you could say whatever you want to as you're confident over there, but again, with the Cleveland Indians, you got to give respect to them. They're still a good outfit. They still got power. They still got the pitching. It's also, too, again, a very weak AL Central where the only other competition right now that I see for them is the Minnesota Twins. I didn't think Minnesota has enough to at least up in the Cleveland Indians, but I think that also, too, should be a good dogfight, as you can turn off your mic and it still comes through. But either way, though, again, the Cleveland Indians, I'm going to go with them to win the AL Central.
I've got
That means it's your
Cleveland.
turn.
I got the Cleveland Indians, too. I told you. We don't disagree on any of the division winners.
All right, then I guess AL West, Houston Astros. Keep it plain and simple as that. Seattle possibly could make a good argument to compete with Houston.
The West is like...
I think Oakland takes a downturn this year. I think Oakland does not make it into the wild card. I don't think they have a run like they did last year. Seattle might make it interesting, but I think Seattle is going to find themselves having that kind of swoon as well as they did last year. L.A., the Angels, I have no faith in. And then the Rangers, the Rangers are kind of
They're starting pitching after Matt Harvey is listed as your top guy, Trevor Cahill. It's not good, and their bullpen doesn't look all that exciting as well. So they are going to have problems getting people out. So we go to the wild cards.
So, again, we agree on all three. Again, East, Yankees, Central, Cleveland, and the AL West with the Houston Astros. Again, yes, we will move on to the American League wild card.
With Boston and the Yankees, they are neck and neck in my book. I mean, I threw it over to the Yankees just because they made
I think that
extra
moves.
moves.
That is a division that could, at least from just reading both teams, would not surprise me if it comes down to game 163. It should be that close.
Yeah, I think these teams are going to battle it out, and it's all up to the pitching in Boston. Boston is good for their
depending
pitching.
on the pitching, but also, too, for the New York Yankees right now, it's a team that needs to be healthy. It's a team that needs to be healthy throughout the season. Again, I think they cannot afford to lose big names like Boston could. If Boston were to lose a few, at least, names, I think they have enough kind of like the LA Dodgers, where they have enough where, all right, we may be missing this piece. We might be missing a David Price or with the Dodgers, hey, we're missing a Clayton Kershaw. They can pick up those pieces, though. They can be fine without it. I think the Yankees are that team where they can't afford that. They can't afford to lose a Judge. They can't afford to lose a
you
Eugene
look at Boston, you look at out of their 5 starters, Sale, Price, Porcello, and Eovaldi.
That's good. That's scary names.
That's 4 guys that kind of remind me. And again, I'm going to talk to the old timers out there. This would be like Earl Weaver's Orioles, where they had 4 20-game winners.
Yeah.
This is very.
I don't think that's going to happen to Boston. I think Boston had something very special. Clearly, again, with at least capping off with another World Series championship. But where they kind of cruised to the AL East, where they were the best team in all of Major League Baseball. Again, getting well above 100 wins. I think Boston, they take a step back. Nothing major, but I wouldn't be surprised if they flirt with 100 wins, but probably don't break it this year.
Well, and again, too, you have probably the best designated hitter in Major League Baseball, J.D. Martinez.
I guess.
So, again, that's good. If we talk about guys like Machado and Harper for extra wins, J.D. Martinez definitely puts his name in the hat for some extra wins for Boston.
Anyway, so moving on.
All right, so my wild cards for the AL will be Boston, and I'm going with Seattle to be the other. Again,
I think
the West is so boring. Seattle is better.
Boston is definitely a lock in the playoffs. It was just kind of picking hairs of are they a wild card or will they win that East? And yes, I have them as a wild card team. Moving to the Central, I think with yes, I can see your reasoning behind Seattle. I wanted to go with the Mariners, but I see the Mariners just having another late season just collapse. It's a talented team, but they are far off from making it to the playoffs, in my opinion. I think the team that has shown promise in, granted didn't make big moves, but is kind of build something special, trying to get out of the cellar of the AL Central. I think the Minnesota Twins are that other team that makes it to the at least American League wildcard.
Again, really nothing in the starting. Jose Barros is one of their top starters, but I mean, bullpen, their closer, Addison
I'm not saying they're winning. I'm not saying they're going far.
I
think it's just a team that will just get to the wild card. I don't think they'll move past Boston Red Sox if that is the matchup between those two. But I think Minnesota will find a way to just sneak in there and be that that road team on the at least. To face Boston.
They got Nelson Cruz as their DH, but this team doesn't excite me. It just, they might be 500.
You could say you have the same argument last year for the Oakland A's. That was a team that wasn't all that surprising, all that great looking on paper. They still found a way. I think the Twins are going to be that Oakland A team this year, where they're going to find some way to get hot and get into things, or at least again to take advantage of that weak AL Central. They'll beat up on those White Sox teams. They'll beat on those Tiger teams. They'll beat up. At least get those series wins in the AL Central that they need, that they're going to have a lot of. And again, that's where they're going to mount up a lot of those wins, is beat up on those terrible teams in their own division.
Well, and if Seattle does not have the late season collapse like you say they do, I would think they're going to be buyers come. I think
the AL West is going to be other than Texas Rangers. That's going to be
a dog division.
It's going to be a division where they're going to eat each other alive. Where Oakland might steal a series from Seattle. Where
Angels will steal one from the A's.
Again, it's going to be a dogfight between teams 2 through 4. And
it's going to knock 2 of those teams out of contention for the playoffs. So we go to the AL champion, and again we disagree on this. I'm going back with Boston, and the only reason I'm going with Boston over the Yankees in this one is that I feel the pitching in October, like it was this year or last season, is going to carry Boston. And they will make the moves at the trade deadline where they find they need the help offensively. So I'm going to go with the Red Sox because I think they're solid pitching.
In this day and age, where back in the early 2010s, it was the year of the pitchers. Again, it was all about pitching staffs. I think we're slowly seeing that MLB is transitioning over to where it's favorability for those hitters. And again, that's where, you could say I disrespect the Rockies, where they should be that formidable, at least lineup. I think the Rockies are well far, at least away from getting to the World Series. But you say that about pitching being clutch in the October. I think this is where I go with the New York Yankees, and that solid lineup that they have, that offense, is going to overpower that. They will take care of business and kind of frustrate those Boston Red Sox pitchers. I don't really see it's going to be New York versus Boston necessarily, but I think the Yankees lineup, that offense, is going to click at that time and eventually lead them back into the World Series. So looking at least our World Series matchups right now, for me it is the New York Yankees taking on the Milwaukee Brewers, and I already forgot your picks. Who do you have in the World Series?
I've got the Rocks going to the series. I've got a repeat of 2007.
Boston,
the Rockies, and Boston sweeps.
That makes me gag a bit. But either way,
no, they won't sweep. Boston will. I have a feeling that Boston's going to be the repeat. And it's funny, it's funny that we're not showing any love to Houston. Neither one of us. I'm really shocked because as I sit here, I'm going, boy, we are really discarding Houston, but I think they may They may be in the championship round of the American League.
Possibly.
But, again, I like Boston. I just think they are a solid
I could
outfit.
see a matchup between the Yankees and the Houston Astros where, again, you have a solid pitching staff, again, led by Justin Verlander. Again, those solid starters out there. But in whatever matchup it could be, I still think the Yankees just have that potent offense that can take care of business where they're going to frustrate those starters, get them out early, and just kind of lead them into at least eventually winning that American League championship and then moving on to the World Series. So with all that being said, and at least Stone, you go with the Boston Red Sox to defeat the Colorado Rockies in this year's World Series. In my matchup with the Yankees against the Milwaukee Brewers, team that I thought was going to win it last year, I think wins it this year, and they get it done. Again, where it's going to be a battle between two offensive just powerhouses, in my opinion, two very potent these lineups. I got to go with the favorability. I got to go with the team that I thought was going to win it last year, and that would be the Milwaukee Brewers. I think the Brewers, again, led by Yelich, that just solid team, they were on the verge. That was a team that kind of snuck up a bit last year. Was not really expecting of what they did, but I think they carry that momentum this season, show that true potential, that true power, and just kind of dominate their way through Major League Baseball. And that includes the World Series, where I think it won't be a sweep. That might be a 7-game series if it does become the Yankees versus the Milwaukee Brewers, but I think the Brewers, in the end, will just be a little bit too more powerful than the Yankees. Right. And lead them to at least that championship.
Well, and I go back to Houston again, not to dismiss on them, but I think they lost too much in the offseason. I think with Verlander and Cole being their top two starters right now,
which is not bad.
But Osuna, their closer, it could be like a Wade Davis. I mean, he could be up and down, and that's what concerns me.
Well, it's the same with Chapman in the Yankees. Again, he could be that guy where he could be on fire, lights out, and then, oh no, here's Chapman. He's allowing everything around.
But it would not surprise me, though, this year. We talk about all MVPs. Don't be surprised that Bregman is not in consideration for an MVP. He's an all-around player at third base.
Yeah.
He's not going to hit you 50 home runs. But he's a guy who can probably.
But let's be honest, in this day and age of MLB, of how they vote for,
I hear you.
For MVP, again, go back years ago where Giancarlo Stanton MVP compared to, again, two Rockies
like
players.
Charlie Blackmon.
There you go. Where, again, right now the voters, they look more at those headlines. They look more at those big numbers of, oh, hey, Giancarlo Stanton hit 60 home runs for a terrible Marlins team. Was he the most valuable player for a Marlins team? I mean, yeah, one of the top college players could be for the Marlins at this point in time. But right now, I don't know what to think of the MVP voting coming up. That's why I'm not going to pick it, because these voters go whatever way they want.
But I'm just saying, with the Houston Astros, you can't march out Verlander every game. Okay,
no.
and with Cole, and maybe,
and who knows
and
what
maybe
they do? Who knows what they do around trade deadline?
I mean, they're good. They're good with 3 stars, but I think they lost too much from the staff. And again, Osuna, to me, and you mentioned Chapman and I mentioned Davis. I think Osuna is probably the worst of the 3. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I'm glad that we got a chance to do this because, again, I'm excited for baseball. Just want to see the games get underway, and they start officially. They already started with Seattle taking 2 in Japan from the Athletics. But Thursday, let's get it going and play ball.
Yeah.
We're going to take a timeout. Or do we want to take a timeout yet? What do you want to do?
We can talk with Adam here
a
little early. Yeah, we can. We could try. If not, we can just talk for a few.
We can keep it here if you want. You do have a couple local notes. Let's do that.
All right.
Before we go to the break.
At least was passed along by Rick Thompson, again, former manager for the Cheyenne Mustangs, who was able to pass along. Again, thank you to Rick, who emailed me earlier today. Cheyenne Mustangs, they have at least officialized. They have finally got the varsity schedule set up for 2019. I do want to take at least a few bullet points out of this schedule coming up for the Cheyenne Mustangs. Again, they will be under new manager. Again, Rick Thompson, who did at least step down, as he mentioned it live here last year on Wyoming Sports Talk today. Again, will be under the new direction of Sheldon Baxter. Again, he will be the new at least manager for the Cheyenne Mustangs this season. Looking at a few contests. First home game for the Cheyenne Mustangs will come up April 20th at Pioneer Park Park. They will host the Casper Crush. They will have a 2-game at least series with Rapid City Post 320. They will also see the Billings Expos over at Powers Field. Those games will happen in the month of May. May 25th to the 27th will be the Memorial Tournament here happening in Cheyenne involving the Cheyenne Mustangs. Again, teams will be to be determined. Looking at a few other things for the Cheyenne Mustangs. Thursday through Saturday, actually Thursday through Sunday, June 20th to the 23rd, the Mustangs will compete here in Cheyenne, a part of this Northern Colorado border war. Again, teams to be determined, but I'm assuming it's going to be a battle between here local teams and teams from Northern Colorado, I would assume. June 27th to June 30th, Mustangs at Powers Field. They will host, once again, as they've kind of done an annual thing, the Mustangs Summer Classic. That is a 4-day event. And then, again, at least July 18th to July 21st, they will take part in the Colorado State Tournament, since there is no, at least, Wyoming State Tournament. Right. So, again, they have to compete in the Colorado State Tournament, which they did win last year. Again, right now for the Cheyenne Mustangs, looking to at least take that title once again, to be that Wyoming team to win the Colorado State Tournament. So that's just kind of looking at a few notes for the Cheyenne Mustangs. They will compete in a at least 4th of July tournament happening in Denver, Colorado. The one thing that I noticed on the Cheyenne Mustangs, at least for the schedule, missing in the month of July is there is no CABA tournament for the Cheyenne Mustangs. Post 6 will compete in this year's CABA tournament, which again will return.
So the CABA is returning.
It will be returning here to the city of Cheyenne. Once again, since it is under contract, again, Post 6 will compete in that. Again, will be happening July 8th through July 14th, so the CABA World Series will happen. However, though, the Cheyenne Mustangs will not be a part of that. So, again, kind of interesting development there. Hopefully we'll get more information on the decision behind that from either Rick Thompson, again, who is a part of that board, if not Sheldon Baxter as well, too, when we get into things with the Cheyenne Mustangs this season of why they decided to back out of the CABA World Series. So, but again, that was kind of the notable thing on the schedule of that. Mustangs will not compete in that tournament this season.
Yeah, and again, it leads to the speculation. We know
what happened. We talked about it.
Yeah, we know that, but
year.
We also know, too, that this year's team is going to be very young.
Yeah, they lost.
Going to be very inexperienced.
A lot of talent.
Yeah, so
and again, you can even say that for the Cheyenne Post 6. Cheyenne Post 6 graduated a lot of talent,
and we saw the caliber of talent from CABA last year. I mean, that was they brought in some good teams. I'm not saying that we're backing out.
Well, and again, that California team that eventually won it all, again, made it all the way to at least where they competed in the World Series and had fun with that. So, again, big names from at least kind of the western states here of the United States, whether it's Hawaii, California, Washington, Idaho, Utah. Again, a lot of different states coming all the way here in town. So, but again, with everything that happened last year, it leads to speculation that you're assuming that the Mustangs just had no part of that CABA tournament and just kind of wanted just to kind of separate themselves from it.
Yeah, you don't want to, you want to participate, but maybe you're just not going to have the muscle, to have a team in there. And again, you don't want to go in that tournament and get your brains beat out, And again, I think
there was teams that got their brains beat out.
I understand, but I think this year's team is going to be a work in progress. It's going to be a learning curve for the Mustangs as they take the field. And again, you still haven't got your head coach out here yet, so we need to get him out here, and so he can get together with his guys.
If I remember, Sheldon won't be at least manager for the Mustangs until at least May, as he's still doing with high school down in the state of Florida. So, again, we won't see Sheldon Baxter out here for the Cheyenne Mustangs for quite some time, again, where the Mustangs will get in action. At least they'll be in Billings, Montana to start out the season, April 13th up there, taking on the Billings Expo. So, again, speculation. Again, hopefully we'll be able to talk to Rick Thompson or somebody from the Cheyenne Mustangs to just get explanation of why they're not part of that CABA tournament, where again the CABA does put their name on the map, though. It does showcase, again, it is a quote-unquote kind of prestige tournament where we did see scouts in attendance, and again, why you would back your team out to have that potential to at least showcase some of your players to join some D1 schools or JUCO at least schools. It's just kind of it's concerning, a little bit questionable of that decision. And hopefully we'll get a response, or at least I will, from Rick Thompson of just why that decision was made.
As we look ahead towards summertime baseball, again, both Post 6 and the Mustangs, again, will bring us a lot of activity throughout the course of the next few months. And again, we start getting hot and heavy here beginning in the month of April, just like we do with the major leagues. All right, we're going to take a timeout. We come back. We're going to have an opportunity to talk with the head coach of the Cheyenne Extreme, that being Adam Galicia. We're back after these words on 1480 KRAE.
Capital Lumber is lumber one in Cheyenne. Are you listening?
With power-heated exterior mirrors, rear camera display, remote keyless entry, and more. Come into Kia of Cheyenne, call 775-0123 or go to kiaofcheyenne.com. We'll make it easy.
You love the Lennox difference, from collision repair to minor nicks and dents. Certified quality you can trust. Nobody cares about your car more than us. Lennox Auto Body, we do what we say. We fix it right and get you on your way. No shortcuts, no compromise. Lennox Auto Body. No shortcuts, no compromise.
Lennox Auto Body at 1020 Dunn Avenue and the Detail Center at 617 East Pershing Boulevard, Cheyenne.
Are you looking for a pharmacist who will actually take the time to talk to you? Then come to Medicap Pharmacy. We're dedicated to healthcare only, which means we'll fill your prescription quickly, and then we'll make time to listen, answer your questions, explain your prescriptions, and tell you about possible drug interactions.
Medicap Pharmacy, we'll always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712. MHP is a certified public accounting and consulting firm located in both Cheyenne and Fort Collins, offering accounting, tax, and consulting services to businesses, not-for-profit, government, and individual clients. MHP takes pride in their commitment to providing close, personal attention to their clients. They also continue to invest time and resources in continuing education, state-of-the-art computer technology, and valuing their relationships with you. MHP is a proud supporter of local and UW athletics. MHP, 314 West 18th Street, or call 634-2151.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For tonight, it'll be sunny with highs around 62, winds out of the southwest at 10 to 15. For tonight, it'll be clear skies with lows around 35. On Wednesday, it'll be mostly sunny with highs around 67, and on Wednesday night, it'll be partly cloudy with lows around 35.
Tired of lazy and predictable sports talk radio? We know you are. This is Cheyenne's new sports radio home. It's Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's right here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Well, welcome back to Wyoming Sports Talk. Today we get to bring on our guest this afternoon, he being the Cheyenne Extreme manager, 18 under, Adam Galicia. Adam, hey, thanks for joining us, buddy. We do appreciate you coming in, talking some extreme baseball, or softball, I should say.
Yeah, it's good to be here. It's good to talk to you guys. Thanks for reaching out.
You know, Adam, I got to come right out of the box and say this, because I say this to all the coaches, especially in the high school ranks, and you've been in this game a long time with the Shine Extreme program, but, I mean, it's tough every year. You say goodbye to a very good group, and then you welcome in a new crew, and, I mean, for you, it's got to be tough every year, because it's like you get this team molded right there towards the end of the season, and then boom, the season's over. And then you got to welcome in the next crew to take over.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely understand that. You know, I always tell the girls coming in, and the parents, it takes about almost a season, a little over a season, to get everybody going in the right direction. You know, we had a pretty solid squad last year, did a lot of good things. Going into this year, we have 13 girls, and only 5 of them are returning players. So it was, we definitely didn't know what to expect going into the season. We hadn't been able to get outside yet to practice. Everything's been indoor in the gyms. So it was nice to get in the dirt, and I'm excited for this year now.
I was going to say, at least you started off hot so far, though, this season. Looking back this past weekend, competing down in Arvada, Colorado again, at least winning the championship game on Sunday back March 24th against a few teams, as you went 5-1 this past weekend. But right now, again, starting off things at least so far on the right track, but right now as we kind of deal with the month of March, April, where weather can be an issue and you might have pauses due to snow or rain or whatever may happen here in the Rocky Mountain region, especially here in Cheyenne. But again, how do you kind of carry this momentum through this early part, or at least this kind of winter, springtime here in Wyoming?
Well, it's tough, and our Parks and Rec doesn't even allow us to get on the fields till the 1st of April, so we still have another week before we can even actually get on our own fields to practice. But I talked to girls this last weekend after the tournament was over. It was a great way to start. We have a ton of things to work on, but our baseline, where we're starting from, I'm very excited, and we just keep working hard, doing what we're doing, and it's all about effort. If they put in the effort, they'll see the results.
You mentioned that you can't get onto a field per se, and let's be real honest, Adam. Once we fall back, so to speak, when we turn our clocks back, that's when winter starts to set in, and field conditions get really awful, and snow and everything else. But you work indoors in the gym. What do you try to accomplish in a gym situation? Are you hitting wiffle balls? I mean, you're hitting off a hardwood surface. I mean, what do you try to accomplish when you're indoors?
Well, fortunately, we're able to utilize the Post 6 Wyco hitting facility on South Greeley to do for our hitting practices. So that's a big help there. And then for our defensive fielding and skills practices, we go indoors at KRAE Junior High. And it's tough you can't simulate. Really, the gyms are not big enough to do what we need to do, so it's through the wintertime. It's skills and drills, especially for the new players coming on, trying to teach them the things that we like to do. And it's hard to really improve on our game type stuff until we actually get in the dirt.
Looking at your team this year, as you said goodbye to some really good players, and again, every year you are blessed with the great players that come through the Extreme program. Let's talk about this year's team. Give us the names and the youngsters that we can expect to catch out on the diamond.
Yeah, so obviously returning, in the circle, I have my daughter Ariana, and it's pretty nice to have her for counting this year, 3 more years, and she'll be solid in the circle for us again. We picked up a girl from Laramie, from one of our younger teams, Janie Adair. I think she's going to give us a lot in the circle. We have some other pitchers. Jordan Harris is coming off our other Extreme team last year. She'll be playing with us this year. She's going to do some good things for us. And then we have another girl from Torrington, another young girl, Michaela Morehouse. I think is going to do some great things for us in the circle. Hitting-wise, we have Maggie Segeta returning. She was our big stick last year. I'm expecting big things for her coming this season. I'm sure everybody saw in the paper or whatever, Mackenzie Bolts. I don't know if everybody knows who she is, but she's all of 5'1" maybe and 100 pounds soaking wet. And she had 4 home runs this last weekend, and was just killing the ball. 4 home runs. I think she had 11 or 12 RBIs, and it's just amazing what she was able to get done this weekend.
A threat on the diamond and also on the court as well too, where again she's a multi-sport athlete. She's doing phenomenal things around the city of Cheyenne.
Correct, yeah, and she's just a great athlete, and she's doing the things now that she needs to improve her game, and really expecting big things out of her this year. So, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just going to say, looking at your past weekend when you were in action, were you surprised by the outcomes in the games with your kids, simply for the fact that you look at the numbers and you got really good pitching and you got some timely hitting, except for the one game where you got shut out? But other than that, were you as a head coach pretty surprised at the way your team came out and participated this weekend?
I was very pleasantly surprised. To be honest, my son Michael coaches with me, and we had talked, and we expect to take our lumps early, just because we knew where we're at, where we've been able to get to at practice, and the girls from game 1 Saturday to finishing that championship game improved so much from Saturday morning till Sunday afternoon, and I did not expect to. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't expect to be playing at the championship game on Sunday. I expected the girls to be there working hard, but I just didn't think we were there yet. And we beat some good teams. Those teams that we beat on Sunday are going to be competing for championships all year down in Colorado. And both those teams were A-class teams last year, dropping down to the B-class this year. So they were very solid teams. So I was very, very pleasantly surprised with what we did.
Again, this past weekend going 5-1 down in Colorado, again winning the championship game in Arvada as well too. So again, starting off hot right now for the Cheyenne Extreme. Adam, something that we talked with you about last year of how difficult it was, again without having the schedule here in front of me, but for the Cheyenne Extreme it was tough getting teams to come up and play softball here in the city of Cheyenne, even though we have kind of phenomenal facilities around the city of Cheyenne, especially to play softball. But when you were setting up the schedule for 2019, did you run into those similar kind of at least hardships of trying to get at least kind of court teams up here to the Cap City to play Cheyenne Extreme?
Oh yeah, it's the same situation again. The girls, they're able to play so many games down between Fort Collins and Denver. It's just tough to get them to come up here. So I already have set up. We don't have times finalized, but we got teams coming from Gering, Nebraska. They're going to come get a doubleheader in with us. Casper's got their team. They want to come get a doubleheader in with us. So we got to finalize some times there, and trying to work some more with Scottsbluff and some more Nebraska teams that come this way. They're showing a lot of interest. So hopefully we can get some more games here in town, besides Extreme Weekend.
But also, too, Adam, on the other side of the coin, too, with your fast pitch squad, the Extreme known across the U.S., do you get invites and offers to go across the U.S., or are we pretty much going to stay here in the Rocky Mountain region throughout the course of the year?
Yeah, we'll probably get out, get a few places this year, hopefully. We're kind of limited to our region right now. Especially with a new team this year. Want to make sure we all get on the same page. We're all learning the same things and just getting used to each other. But yeah, we definitely get invites to go to different places. It's just money says a lot about how we can travel, and so anything within driving distance is pretty easy for us to do right now. Further than that, it's just a little tough to fundraise and all that kind of stuff.
Well, Coach, anything that we can do on our end to help you and the young ladies in a fundraising effort, feel free always to keep in touch with Nick and myself, all right?
Yeah, appreciate it. I'll definitely do that.
All right, Coach. Well, we wish you all the best, and we'll chat with you again from time to time here throughout the course of the season, and appreciate you giving us some time. And, didn't mean to bother you out there in Utah. I know you're busy doing some work out there.
Hey, no problem. I appreciate your guys' support for the team. We really do. The girls will appreciate it, too.
All right. Thanks a lot. Take care. Adam Galicia, head coach of the Cheyenne Extreme, has, again, their season already off and running. And it's interesting, too, Nick, because, and again, these young ladies, they're fantastic on the field. Like with me, I had not had a chance yet to swing a bat. I have not taken any ground balls, or, I don't have the gym facility. And I can't imagine going out onto the field. First and foremost, I bet they were all excited like me to get onto a base or a field, softball field, and participate. But to do as well as they did in that tournament, again, without being on a surface, a playing surface, it's a tribute to how well this team is coached and how well they're prepared.
And again, whether it's Cheyenne Extreme, Cheyenne Post 6, and the Cheyenne Mustangs, where, again, all respective in their leagues, whether it's softball and baseball, again, it kind of speaks, wonders about what talent we have here in the Cap City, or at least what we can draw here to our local teams, where, again, we're competing down, as Adam at least mentioned, where I want to make precedent of, again, it's tough to get teams to compete up here in Cheyenne, even though we have new facilities, Parks and Rec, as much as they can be a hassle sometimes, or at least folks involved with that, but they did at least kind of upgrade facilities for the Cheyenne Extreme, but again, it goes to a waste, essentially, where it's tough to get teams up here, but it goes kudos to all three of our, at least, teams that compete in springtime and summer, where they're going down to Colorado. They're competing against top Colorado teams. They're going to Nebraska. They're going across kind of the Rocky Mountain region, or at least where funds can take them to. And again, they're quote-unquote kind of stealing away these tournaments. Again, an outside team from, across the state line in Wyoming are winning tournaments in Arvada, in Colorado, going down to Denver, wherever, and again, taking these tournaments where, it's surprising a few folks of saying, right, well, you'd figure a Colorado team should win a Colorado tournament. Instead, our Cheyenne teams are taking care of business. So it's an interesting situation of how these teams adapt and survive away from home, of just saying, hey, it's something that we talked with Post 6, we talked with Adam last year, we talked with the Mustangs, of all these teams here in town kind of have that chip on their shoulder of they have something to prove.
But also it throws out the gauntlet every year, the need for women's fast pitch.
It's been talked about.
No, I understand that. And we'll have that opportunity with the athletic directors to chat about it. But I'm just saying,
because again, it is showing that it's going to be a possibility.
And baseball, I know, and the soccer folks will chime in on this one. We never know what the weather's going to be. March seems to be like our worst month for weather.
Yeah.
As far as we get snowstorms, we get the cold, we get the wind. Yeah, so, you almost can lose a month, but you could possibly make them up on a weekend doubleheader. But the point is, though, with our teams and the success that they bring each and every year to the table, Post 6 Mustangs as well as the Extreme program, it just lights that fire into me that, doggone it, school districts, I understand Mother Nature really sucks in this part of the world, but man, we need to have those.
It also feels a fire of how, again, where it is a great community for softball and baseball, and again, including baseball, where, why aren't we able to build better facilities, or at least bring in new opportunities for baseball here in the city of Cheyenne, whether it is, again, where we have the at least collegiate program that is competing here, the Pioneer League, where you do have like the Casper Horseheads teams from South Dakota, Nebraska as well too, but Cheyenne is the only team in this area that doesn't, at least could facilitate a team, because again, we don't have the proper facilities. Again, when I was up in Idaho Falls there, again, a town that is about the same size, if not a little bit smaller than the city of Cheyenne, I mean, they have a rookie MLB team that is a franchise to the Kansas City Royals, but
But when you were up there, what kind of weather did you have? We had 14 inches of snow down there.
Well, guess what? Again, they play in that Pioneer League as well, where they compete from June to August, where they take care of that summertime. They don't play, hence the reason why down in Colorado Springs, they dropped down from AAA, and they're that rookie affiliate now, where, again, they didn't want to deal with the weather in April.
And it's too bad, because again.
There are leagues that complement to that weather.
We're going to start talking millions of dollars. It's too bad we can't come up with some type of dome stadium, because that's what we need out in this part of the world, to be real honest. Or we need a stadium that, similar like Chase Field, opens and closes. We need that type of facility, if you think about it.
I don't trust anyone out in this part of the world to build something like that.
I'm just saying that's what we would need.
Or at least, I wouldn't say not build, but at least come up with a scheme. They probably do it cheaply where that thing would eventually collapse.
I'm just saying it's an all-city type stadium where we could have that where it does open and close, and that would be probably the ideal answer. Powers Field, great facility, unfortunately, outdoor. And again, too, if you go out there and look at the turf right now in the outfield, it's brown. It's not green. So, anyway, all right, we need to take a timeout. We're getting close to the top of the hour. We'll be back with more after these words here at 1480 KRAE.
Capital Lumber is lumber one in Cheyenne. Are you listening? We're all the lumber store you'll ever need. For electrical, plumbing, paint, and tools, lumber and hardware, we're for you. And we're out to earn your business, yes indeed. Capital Lumber is lumber one today. Are you listening? Capital Lumber's at your service all the way.
Capital Lumber Company, serving our area for over 53 years at 1222 Dunn Avenue in Cheyenne.
1480 KRAE is your home for live play-by-play coverage of high school basketball and football. Hi, this is Nick Perotti inviting you to hear all the play-by-play calls of East, Central, and South football and basketball. You'll hear the conference action along with the postseason, and during the basketball season, 1480 KRAE features both boys and girls games. Catch all the exciting calls on AM 1480 KRAE, also streaming the games worldwide on the web at 1480KRAE.com.
When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think authentic Italian. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think made fresh from scratch. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think great pizza, delicious Philly cheesesteak, superb hot and cold Italian sandwiches, meatballs, sausage, and special subs, calzones, crisp salads, and great service. When you say Mondello's Pizzeria, think unmatched Italian taste. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, your only true Italian stop for lunch or dinner.
Let First Education Federal Credit Union help make buying your next car a breeze. At First Education, you get competitive rates and deal with friendly local folks. Be in control by getting pre-approved and know what you have to spend before going to the dealer. Call 432-7400, go to firstedfcu.com, or visit us in person at 120 West Carlson Street with approved credit, membership eligibility required, federally insured by NCUA.
There's a place where possibilities are boundless, where curiosity runs rampant, where exploration becomes opportunity. With Laramie County Community College, you can discover the best version of yourself. It's time to take on new challenges, to enrich your life, and to create the future you deserve. Your story unfolds. Laramie County Community College. Apply today. Visit lccc.wy.edu/yourstory.
Why do we work all hours of the night? Head towards challenges instead of turning away, and work together to solve the toughest problems so you can enjoy the little things and all the big moments life has to offer. Tri-State and High West Energy. Brighter, stronger, better together.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For tonight, it'll be sunny with highs around 62, winds out of the southwest at 10 to 15. For tonight, it'll be clear skies with lows around 35. On Wednesday, it'll be mostly sunny with highs around 67, and on Wednesday night, it'll be partly cloudy with lows around 35.
When it comes to sports talk in Cheyenne, it's a whole new ballgame. Let's play ball! You're listening to Wyoming Sports Talk today, and it's only here on AM 1480 KRAE.
We're getting down to the end of the program here.
Which means we could talk about what's coming up on this week's, at least Wyoming Sports Talk today.
Can I do this and then we'll talk about what's coming up?
I doubt you got anything important over
Well, we had Todd Helton open the program, then we had Giants CEO Larry Baer. we also
kind of somewhat insignificant.
Well, let's go even a little higher on the depth chart here. How about New England Patriots owner Robert Kraft today officially entered a not guilty plea to charges on 2 misdemeanor counts.
Am I surprised?
Of first-degree solicitation, and has asked for a jury trial. Kraft's attorney filed a court notice today, also waiving his arraignment, which had been scheduled for Thursday but now is canceled. So in February, Palm Beach County authorities announced Kraft was videotaped twice, paying for a sex act in an illicit massage parlor. Kraft, at age 77, is among more than 200 people who police had engaged in sex acts with employees of targeted massage parlors in South Florida.
This is a whole political thing of where do we need laws about this? Again, you look at the state of Nevada where it's legal in certain areas. Again,
here's the irony of this, Nick.
This is the thing where it's like, in my opinion, again, this goes off into a whole political kind of realm of just where my thinking is on this, where in this situation, this should be legal. Again, if someone wants to do that, go right ahead.
He's an adult, and it's consenting adults.
If it's consenting adults, go right ahead. I have no problem. I don't care. Why this is news? Obviously, it's because, again, he is a big-time owner, again, of a respected franchise.
Name. They're a Super Bowl champion.
He has brought controversy to himself, again, of what he said about, again, kind of aligning with Donald Trump and blah, blah, blah. He's had all sorts of things surrounding him. And, again, that's the only reason why this is blown out of proportion. Again, is it something as serious of, again, prostitution? For me, who cares?
But here's the kicker of all of this. If he is convicted, you ready for this? Here's the penalty.
Which is just dumb.
Here's the penalty he'll receive: 100 hours of community service and a $5,000 fine if convicted. Wow.
I think he sneezes on Kleenex made out of $5,000 bills.
All right. I had to throw that out there because that's what I wanted to say on the conviction part.
I'm just saying
it's a joke.
It brings up a whole political thing of just come on. It's kind of the same vein of convicting, for kind of marijuana use at this point, and how these leagues are very hard up on this. Where again, more and more states across this union are starting to make it legal. Countries around us are making it legal. Yeah, we got to be so hard up on something like this. So. But again, why it's news? It's oh no, oh no, he had an animal, a humanistic, urge, and who cares?
All right, let's wrap up things here on this side of the house because we've got a lot of folks still to join us here on the program. Again, I want to mention too, the Cowgirls will be taking on the Lady Waves of Pepperdine. That will be Sweet 16 on Thursday.
100% chance of snow. So again, weather is going to be a factor again, as it is still showing that it will be at least snowing here in town across the hill. So again, if you are going to make it over again, travel safely. Hopefully I-80 does not get closed down, but again, weather will be a factor to get across the hill to Laramie.
At least it'll be somewhat daylight as you're traveling, if that be the case. If it all comes to fruition. All right. Let's talk about who do we got coming up tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. What do we have left on the shows for this week?
At least so far, again, as it is at least 80 week here on Wyoming Sports Talk today. Again, tomorrow we will at least start off things with Central High 80. Chad Whitworth, he'll join us in studio coming up. Also, too, tomorrow we will get a little insider information about the Colorado Eagles, again, American Hockey League, at least affiliate, their first year in the AHL. We'll get an update from Kevin McGlue, voice of the Colorado Eagles.
Who's been on the program before?
Absolutely. Again, get an update on how the Eagles are doing so far in their season. And then on Thursday, we will have UW 80. Finally, Tom Berman, he will join us via phone as he is back from the wrestling championships. He will discuss at least basketball, also too wrestling, a few other things that's been happening at the University of Wyoming. Pick his brain on a few things. Then also too Cheyenne East 80. Jerry Schlabs will join us in studio on Thursday. And Friday, we will have at least confirmed, or at least going to try and confirm, we will have a new LCCC volleyball head coach, Carrie Coates. We'll at least be joined by her. I'm not sure via phone or either in studio. Not sure if she's in town yet. But again, we will hopefully talk with her on Friday. And then also, too, we will be joined by 80 Cheyenne South 80, Mark Puev. Again, we will have at least those 4 80s, as we mentioned on yesterday's show. Again, we'll repeat, again, regarding LCCC AD Clark Rasmussen, due to at least recent events surrounding a few things. Again, we have declined, or at least I have not opted to reach out to Clark Rasmussen for reasons, at least for both myself and you across the way again. Not going to reach
Absolutely.
out to Clark Rasmussen to join us.
Hey, he had his opportunity, and he decided not to join us on a certain occasion. So it was like, okay, that's fine. So with that all being said, we're going to wrap up the program right now, and we are going to tell you this. We have coming up the Golden Age of Radio Theater from 8 until 10 tonight. As a matter of fact, I was listening to one of the Sherlock Holmes episodes last night. It was pretty cool. Again, Sherlock Holmes ×2 from 8 until 9 o'clock.
I'll make sure to quote that on the Golden Age of Radio web, or at least web page. A quote from you. It was cool.
It was cool. I liked it. Again, you don't even know what was always done in these productions back in the day.
I do too. I've seen the behind the scenes. I know how, again, the Orson Welles infamous radio program of, again, the War of the Worlds, all that fun stuff.
Okay. Anyway, so we'll have Suspense Theater coming up
you.
from 9 until 10. A couple of programs as well.
If you want to know more about
the 50s,
hold on about Golden Age. If you want to know more, or at least what programs are coming up for the Golden Age of Radio, go to 14daytoKRAE.com/golden, and again, it gives you detail by each program each day what will be playing for Sherlock Holmes and Suspense Theater. Again, it'll give you the title of those at least programs playing that day.
the best of the 50s and 60s musically headed your way here as we get to the top of the hour.